And I do believe that's live. So, ooh, I hope it's live. Looks like the audio is functional, or at least my digital readout is functional of it. And I am set up in a slightly different place, as you may see. Bit of background noise. Because I'm in the dining room, I can't close the door, and my husband is very nicely doing the dishes in the other room, so I am going to just hope that that doesn't mess up the sound too much. But I think the lighting is better here, and the backdrop is nice. So all of these are good things. Good things. Of course, now I'm going to test and make sure that I'm actually live because, well, you wonder about these things. It is Friday, right? I mean, I haven't got the wrong day wrong, have I? It's possible. It's been one of those weeks. And, you know, it has just been one thing after another this week. And I'm just trying to fly from place to place. Okay, it looks like I'm live. So I will take it from there. My son messed with the studio, so the chat's in the wrong place and I can't see it properly. Go over there. Software. Why do you not want to work and talk to me? Boom. Ugh. Alright. I guess not. Can I put it down there? No. Doesn't want to go down there either. I don't really need to see myself, but if y'all start talking to me, I definitely want to see you, so. I don't know. Oh, gosh. I don't even know where to start. I know I put some topics up for the live stream, and I plan to at least touch on them, because what's the point of putting up topics if I don't stick to topics? I mean, I could conceivably just not, but I'm also, why not? I mean, we'll start with this. So I bought myself a little toy because I find that I'm using the big camera, the DSLR, less and less. So I'm using the cell phone for most everything. And I used to have, years ago, I used to have a little lens thingy. So, okay. Looks like I am not seeing the chat on my end, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna monitor that here. Yeah, clickbait is probably about right. So what I've done now is I've got you running up on my phone so that I can see the chat, because the chat is not showing in my streaming at all, and I don't know why. But now I can see the chat and I can run the thing, and if I'm looking in a strange direction, that's because I'm reading the chat. Let's put that there, that way I can at least pretend I'm looking at the camera when I'm reading the chat. So anyhow, yes, I'm very glad it's Friday. Hi Mom, hi RK, hello Julie and Ben and everybody else that's there. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here. And the sour pickle beer is rather nice if you are hot and sweaty. I find that my affection for it comes and goes depending on how much physical labor I've been doing. But if there's been lots of physical labor, then the pickle beer is definitely nice. Honestly, I've wondered sometimes if maybe it would mix well with something, but I don't know what. And I mention that because I'm probably going to make a cocktail on camera here shortly. Yeah, no, I don't chew gum very often anyway, Julian. When I was small, we were not allowed to have gum because we had long hair, and little girls with long hair and chewing gum is a bad combination. The plant behind me is a golden pothos, and it is a nice viney, drapey plant, very low maintenance, and doesn't have much in the way of light requirements. Although, because I'm sitting next to what are my south-facing windows, it gets decent light even though it's about 4 feet away from the window. But it makes for a very pretty little plant on top of the big hutch. Um, so yeah, well, I mean, there's a reason that you can get chewing gum out of hair with either peanut butter or butter, because it breaks down the molecular bonds to the keratin. Um, well, there's that too. I had forgotten about that, Mom. Although light green jeans, I would still wear light green jeans now. Um, Long hair is a pain. Mine is quite long at the moment, and I'm actually seriously contemplating chopping some of my hair off. But as my husband says, I say that about every 2 weeks when I get frustrated with it for some reason. So whether I actually do it or not is a whole nother thing. Yet lighter fluid will also work, but that's probably a little nastier than like peanut butter. Yeah, no, I mean, as an adult, I can do, well, at the moment, I don't even know have hairpins in it. I just have a hair elastic because it's been one of those days, and I had my hair in a braid earlier, and it got floofy because it gets floofy. It has little strandy bits that fluff out, and then I start looking like a wild woman. Um, so I pulled it out of the braid and snugged it up tight in a bun. Yeah, no, two sticks in my hair usually stays put pretty well. There we go. I think that might be a little better. I know I can lean back in my chair without feeling like I'm gonna drop out of the thing. So yeah, usually with two sticks I can do put it up and it stays up nicely. But my hair, because it does this frizzy thing, that's why I'm seriously contemplating cutting it again, still, always. um, but I mean, that would mean though that I wouldn't be able to use my stabby sticks in my hair anymore, and that would make me sad. So I will probably not chop all of my hair off. Um, and I am sitting here and I'm pulling up. Started the thing I was going to tell you about my toy that I bought myself. So I have three of these now. And these are they are lenses for a cell phone camera. And they're super cheap. I mean, I got three of them with the little clip mount for about $12. And I have posted some pictures, and if I could figure out how to put them into the video stream, I would, but I can't. But so there's the clip mount for cell phone, and pretty decent, pretty strong spring there, so it's not going to come off easily. And then the lens itself has screw threads, and this is a macro lens, so it can be put onto the clip mount carefully, because the clip mount is plastic. It's not the best. Like I said, it was cheap. And then this can go on to clip onto your cell phone, centered right over the camera lens, and it will actually give you some interesting effects. I was able to get some really interesting, very nice little macro shots of a couple of bees this morning. Not honeybees. One was a solitary bee, and the other one was a helictid bee, the little emerald green jewel bee. And so I was able to get some really nice shots of those guys, and that was pretty pleased. Like I told Sanford, that alone was worth the $12 for a cheap little art toy, because I don't pull the DSLR out. It's a lot. It's heavy. I mean, I still love going out and hunting bugs, but I just find that I either go out specifically to take pictures these days, and I haven't been making a lot of time for that. So these enable me to come with a little drawstring bag, and I can toss them into my purse or my laptop bag and have them with me wherever I happen to be if I'm bored. The other two lenses that come in the kit are a wide angle lens and a fisheye lens. And the fisheye is kind of a gimmicky. I mean, it can be fun, but it's kind of a gimmicky thing. So I don't know that I'll use it all that much. I really bought it for the macro lens because with the macro, I was able to get some pretty decent shots. And that's just me messing around for a couple of minutes this morning before I took off to deal with other things after work. So yeah, no, it's a fun little option, and you can get more expensive ones. I chose to get cheap ones just because I didn't know how much I was going to mess around with it. So there, I don't know. I'm sure that this would work on an iPad. It's deep enough to bring in to the lens. I will say that I have a very slender case on my phone, and you can see that I have dual camera lens things there. So this clips on, and it just basically just barely centers over. Actually look at it because you can look through the lens. So it does center over the lenses, but if you have one of the cameras that's got multiple lenses, or if you have a thicker case, you might find that it's a little bit more difficult. In fact, the instructions that come with the lenses say that it should not be used while you have a case on your camera, but I'm not willing to take my case off. So I'm going to be using them with, I have a slim case, and my case actually also magnetically docks into a larger wallet, little pocketbook. I upgraded to that after my last case broke. And now I'm going to make the cocktail I was promising, and then I'm going to sip on it while I'm drinking, because this is actually a super low alcoholic thing. So I can do this without falling asleep, because it is this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to where you can read it. Creme de pamplemousse rose. So it's pink grapefruit liqueur. And put about that much in with ice cubes. So I'm going to say about 2 ounces. I don't have a jigger, so I can't measure. And and then I'm going to put this in there. Whoops, it would help if I showed you the image. So I have a tonic water, and this is 7.5 fluid ounces of tonic water. And this is my version of a cocktail because it's really, really tasty. Yeah, Q is good tonic. I picked this up when I was doing, and I don't know if you can see the gradient of the liqueur. It needs a stir. Yeah, it's a tonic and grapefruit. But the flavor is surprisingly good. I was not expecting that. I don't know RK, and I know that a lot of people run into that, and it's because the grapefruit can interact with certain medications, and that could be very bad. So definitely check before you do this. I don't know if the grapefruit liqueur, because I'm going to assume, of course, it doesn't tell me that what it contains as far as other than the percentage of alcohol. It is produced in France. Hello, Tam. So, right, and I was going to say the tonic water mixing with things, I started doing this with the Brambleberry gin, which I know RK did not like the mixture of tonic and gin, but I really like the bitterness, which is why I was actually a little hesitant to mix it with this grapefruit liqueur, because grapefruit can be bitter. This liqueur is not. And the combination of the tonic and the liqueur is sweet and has a bit of that grapefruit flavor, but it's also got a really interesting nuttiness to it. So I've been enjoying this, and it's fairly low alcohol rate, so I can sip on this and not have to worry about feeling uncomfortably buzzed, because I don't actually like the feeling of too much buzz. Fresca has gotten really hard to find in our area. I like Fresca, but the last time I tried to pick some up to give a friend some, I spent weeks looking for it before I finally found some. So that was kind of annoying. And as much as I enjoy it, finding Fresca is not, and it's like we haven't been able to find RC Cola for a couple of months now, and that's Sanford's go-to. So I don't know if they stopped making it. I really hope not, or if it's just a supply chain issue. It's We're definitely still having a lot of supply chain issues, and I think there's probably some products that have gone away and are never going to come back again. So, yeah, it's probably a distributor issue. I have been to every store um, anywhere near me looking for it and have not been able to find. I mean, we don't, for a while, you couldn't find the cans, um, but now we can't find bottles or anything. Um, right, it's definitely not a very popular drink, so I think that's why we're having trouble finding it, because right now you can find Coke and Pepsi, but not a whole lot of the other alternative things. So, Becky, that's a thought. When I get down into the city, I may take a look and see if they've got RC down there. Looking for RC more than Fresca, Kermit, because Sanford likes RC. He prefers that to any other soda, and we haven't been able to find it in the Itchypaw area for quite some time. So I am gonna be down in the city for FenCon, so I'll probably hit a market. I live down there enough that I actually know where things are. So yeah, that's really nice. Very light, very refreshing, which is what I wanted. Um, so we've been prepping for FenCon up until about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. We weren't sure whether or not we might wind up with a booth at the farmers market here in Itchypaw tomorrow. So Jonna and Courtney and I have been spending some time together at the blanket fort and at my house, getting stuff prepped, knowing that if we had got the booth at the farmers market, which we didn't get because paperwork, we would be able to do that, and it would be a very experimental thing of let's see how this works. And I'll show you a couple of things we're doing here in a minute. But we also knew that the prep that we were doing for that would also get us set up for FenCon. So we're getting there for FenCon. We're having a lot of fun with swag bags. You'll have to catch the North Texas Troublemakers channel, and Jonna and Courtney and Ian made a very important announcement about FenCon there, so you'll want to catch that. That's a lot of fun. But one of the things that we have been doing, we did a bunch of inventory. So I posted some pictures of a table full of stacks and stacks of books, and that's not even all the books of all the authors. So, oh my gosh. Stephen, that does not sound fun. Yes, Becky, your bookmarks did arrive and they got put with all the other stuff. We're probably going to bring everything to my house because I've got 2 big dining tables set up in the dining room so I can accommodate lots of people here, which is fun. And it'll be a great place. We've got to stuff over 200 swag bags for the con. And we have some really interesting stuff going into that. In fact, one of the things I need to do this evening is print, or well, I can probably get away with doing it tomorrow. Now that I'm not doing farmers market booth tomorrow. Um, so I am going to be helping. There's going to be a bunch of us here stuffing swag bags, and we're going to have a lot of fun stuff going in that. We will probably have some extra beyond what goes to the FenCon Friends of Fen. So there may be a few lucky people at FenCon that get to score a North Texas Troublemakers swag bag. So keep your eyes open. If you hit the booth, we may have something fun for people. But what we're going to be doing, so Courtney and Jonna and I have all been doing a lot with Midjourney, with the AI program. And one of the experiments that I did relatively early on was to see if I could print. So here's the thing. Midjourney generates a fairly low resolution image. It's, I forget what it is right now off the top of my head. And they've actually adjusted it so you can get a little bit bigger image now. You can get a fairly good sized image, but it's still not a very high resolution image. So my initial take on it was, okay, you can't just generate a Midjourney image and slap it on a book cover. I was wrong. You can actually do that. You probably don't want to, but you could do that, because I have a nice art printer and I started printing out images and making them bigger and bigger and bigger to try and see where I would get to a point where the image was blown out and pixelated. And I think I've talked about this before. So if you look up on the wall behind me, there's a framed piece of art. That is actually a Midjourney render. That is one of my Alchemy Lab series. So what Jonna and Courtney and I are doing is we're going to be selling art prints at local events, along with books and coloring books. And Jonna has some really cute little bags and zipper bags and stuff that she makes, that she sews. So this is one of the prints that I did on my, I'm going to do the Kilroy thing back here. This is one of the prints that I did on my printer here at home. It's a Gisley print. And we are also getting prints done through a local print house. So we are going to have some really beautiful prints to be able to sell. This one's actually been done on a textured art paper, so you won't be able to see it from the through the pixelization on the camera, but this one actually has a really nice texture to it, so it looks it's an art print. It's not just, okay, it's a print, but this one's an art print. And I even experimented with some toned paper, printing on toned paper here at home. We can't do this through the print house, but I can do that. I can do this kind of thing here on my printer, where it's printed on a heavy toned paper. So what was basically a black and white print has a really interesting brown sepia tone to it. So this is going to be a fun little side thing we're going to try doing, because I also have we're also experimenting with things like I still have some of the stickers that are and magnets that I've done. So I've got magnets that I've done for just little fun graphic design things, and this is one that I did years ago. And I'm probably going to be getting some more of these, and also some that are smaller, because these are postcard sized magnets. So yeah, no, we've gotten some super cute prints, and I also do have some original art that will be, some of this will be with me at FenCon. So this is a ink painting, and this is a stone ground pine soot ink with painted on with brush work, Sumi E design. So very my style of artwork, which is not necessarily not necessarily like everybody's taste, but I think that I will have some interesting things to offer. And of course, it's me, so a lot of my art is super cute. But this one's a watercolor and ink piece, and so I'll have original art at the con, and we'll also have a bunch of art prints at the con. Um, so differs the chat's not working for me at all on my usual software. So I'm actually I have my phone sitting here. I'm looking at the yes, sparse is probably a good word for the ink stuff. It's my ink work, my natural style tends towards sumi-e, which is Japanese and Chinese ink painting, and it is a very minimalist, very tight style. So that's where I tend to go instinctively when I'm working. Um, I think it might actually have to do with the fact that I don't concentrate very well for very long periods of time. So I have trouble being like, okay, I'm gonna spend hours and hours and hours doing all of the teeny little details because I don't do that. It's difference. That is the fun thing about Midjourney. It means that anyone can be an artist. Um, it does take Midjourney takes some learning. I've talked to a couple of different people now about the fact that you can't just jump in with Midjourney and instantly pump out really interesting stuff. I mean, you can, but if you want Midjourney to give you stuff that you actually want to use for something specific, it takes a little bit more work. And it's it's interesting. I really am enjoying what I'm doing with Midjourney. I'm doing a lot of stuff in the background that I'm not necessarily sharing a huge amount right now, but there's going to be a lot more coming from me on it. I'm just still, I'm a little overwhelmed with the possibilities. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do with it and then maybe try to figure out what I should do with it. Yeah, there is actually a how-to. There's the Midjourney community itself is very, very active. I would say almost too active at times. But if you want to go look at the Midjourney prompt craft channel in the community thing. Okay, now I'm gonna have to try and generate bridge dragons. I did elves in a dishwasher today. because elves in a dishwasher. Okay, I should probably explain that a little bit more because I know it sounds really funny, and I'm gonna pull it up so I can show you guys. So it's not meant to look like much of anything. It's elves in a dishwasher. The North Texas Troublemakers hangs out a lot. And sometimes we get silly. And I wasn't there for the beginning of the silliness, but I was there for the elves in the dishwasher part. Because the dishwasher at Jim Curtis's house, old NFO, died. And then when he bought a replacement, it came in and the replacement was messed up. So he still doesn't have a dishwasher. And we were joking around about elves having wreaked havoc, and like little, like brownie elves, not tall Galadriel elves. And so we were joking around about the elves having gotten in his dishwasher, and that's why the dishwasher was messed up. And I was like, I have this mental image of these elves kind of mashed into the dishwasher. And I was like, I would have to, and not the artist to render that out fully. I could probably draw it, but you can't do that with Midjourney, because if you ask Midjourney to do elves in a dishwasher, well, you saw what I got. But of course, once I said you couldn't ask Midjourney to do it, I had to go ask Midjourney to do it. So yeah, right. They're very helpful gremlins. We have a gremlin. She's gray and white and fuzzy and will bite you if she's given half a chance. Not hard, usually. She has learned not to bite hard. But she's not a snuggly kitty. She's a gremlin kitty. Johan just walked out. He's lurking over here, giving me squinty eyes. And now he's retreating because I have named him. You, yes, Borrowers. I grew up with the Borrowers. I still haven't seen. I know Studio Ghibli did a Borrowers movie. I haven't seen it. I kind of want to because Studio Ghibli does pretty stuff, but it's been. I don't know. I don't have time to watch TV. I've been watching YouTube videos, weird little YouTube videos, because once you set Arrietty. They did Arrietty. So, and I definitely want to. I definitely want to see it. I have no idea if they took liberties with the story, but I did actually get a 80 the elves in the dishwasher doing dishes, so I might have to blow that image up and share that one as well, Ben. But so yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's silly. My son is throwing mints at me. He calls them old man treats, but the old man of the house won't eat mint, so that would be me. Yeah. I have been talking a lot because I've been hanging out with friends, and I'm not used to talking this much, evidently. So it has been a it's been a good week. It's just been crazy busy, and I'm looking at con next week and going, yeah. Um, I like mint. Just Johan does not, neither does my husband. Well, then why do you call them old man treats and throw them at me? The old man does not want them. Okay, that's a half a mint wrapped up in its package. There's only half there. Um, I did get my con dress for FenCon. I debated. I like I like to buy a dress for a con and have something fun to wear when I'm doing a big con. And I was really debating about buying a dress for this con because I put on a lot of weight, and I didn't want to have to buy another dress, but a lot of my dresses don't fit me right now. So I bought a dress. Good heavens, are you okay in there? He says it was only plastic, but there was a lot of noise. Yes, also York Peppermint Patties fans here too. I like York Peppermint Patties and Junior Mints. I like Junior Mints too. And Andes Mints. I like mint. Yes, mint, a sprig of mint in the grapefruit drink would probably be very good. Because oh, good. I'm glad you're buying a dress. The one you showed the picture of was lovely, Farm Girl, but I think you'll have fun with a new dress. Um, and well, okay, not everybody has to do a con dress. A fancy dress for the con is kind of a me thing. Most people do jeans and t-shirts for. You didn't realize the Arrietty was a borrower? Oh, well, then you've got a treat in store for you. But that is definitely the borrowers. No, don't chat if you're driving. You can listen in, Farm Girl. as my bounce around more than usual from topic to topic. And the husband makes ominous dish clinking noises in the other room. So, a Hawaiian shirt works too, RK. There's going to be an awful lot of people there in Hawaiian shirts. Trailer park cosplay for the Trexas Troublemakers. That sounds about on point. I think a certain lady of, I hate to call her a lady of hate, the lady of international lady of hate. That doesn't sound right, but I think that's what she was planning on doing. Yes, he's modeling his bright Hawaiian shirt. Hawaiian shirts are always, well, farm girl, because if you go to a ball, you kind of have to do Our Lady of Hate. That sounds right. I think. Well, my plan for Saturday, so it won't be for the party, is my son has talked me into doing a Miss Frizzle cosplay. So that's my current plan for the con on Saturday, is to do, I have a dragon dress, or not a dragon dress. Okay, sort of a dragon dress. It's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are dragons, right? Right? Yes, I know I'm dragging it out too much. Close enough. Yes, close enough. Miss Frizzle is a good one for me. Yes. I'm actually thinking I might touch up the henna. I haven't done any of the henna in my hair for over a year now. There's a gremlin behind me. And her boy. She doesn't really want to be there, I don't think.
It's not really this high up in this area.
Inspector Gidget is funny. She does not do children at all. We've had teacup humans, as Ian calls them, here a couple of times this month. And she has hidden so well that even the boy couldn't find her, at least once. But she actually does not mind Jonna at all. Yes, Jonna's in the chat. She has actually come up and sat on Jonna's foot, which is unheard of. She's never done that. So we had John and Courtney here last night, and at dinner I look across the table and down the living room, and there's a half a cat face.
Oh, and then she moved up into the living room, kind of staying from under the table.
So she was wearily accepting of there being guests at dinner last night. She does not want to be. So I have plugged in the. Can you go wiggle my plug over there? Okay, it's telling me my battery is low, so dude, you're gonna want to go behind me because it's all the way the heck over there. So trying to figure out, I did plug in the laptop, so I'm like, why is it not charging? No.
Didn't turn on the surge.
I was not aware that the surge protector was off.
If it goes off again, that's a problem. If it
Okay.
goes out, why use the
Because you didn't do what I asked you to do. Oh. Why doesn't Max come out with you, Becky? Instead of howling at you? Because cat. I know. And Henry... I haven't met Henry, and I think I'm unlikely to get to meet Henry, but cats are funny. They either really, really like you, or they want nothing to do with you. And they're feeding the dog, and that means that the cat will now try to sneak some of the dog's food because she doesn't want any dog food. She wants to annoy the dog. So Oh, being out by the fire sounds lovely, David. It's actually still quite bright and warm here. What? Will you leave that poor cat alone? She does not want. She does not want. She just ran away. I think Inspector Gidget is going to have PTSD from living with a teenager. Puncture vine does not sound good, Kermit. Oh yes, Ted, they definitely know who the cat hater is, or the person that has serious cat allergies. David, I appreciate that. That may actually happen. Sanford and I are talking about a prolonged trip around LibertyCon time. I don't know that that's going to happen, but we are definitely going to be going to visit his parents and mine, which is kind of your neck of the area, David, broadly speaking. Yes, Jonah, I saw the video of you guys getting very silly. That was fun. I unfortunately was not successful in my quest, but the guys the guy had the so I went to look at a pop-up tent today, the little canopy, shade canopy, because if we're going to start doing craft fairs and the farmers market periodically, I for one cannot do sun. So, a shade shelter of something is really kind of imperative because the the big hat only goes so far, and everybody else that's going to be manning the booth as well as me also should probably have sun protection. But yes, the quest does not succeed at the first challenge. No, this guy was looking at a used pop-up canopy, and this guy is like, it has no tears, as I'm making him open it up and show it to me. And I'm like, there's a tear there, and another little tear over there. And then I bend down and I look up underneath of it, and you can see daylight through the wear wrinkles in the fabric. And I'm like, I offered him money, just not as much as he was asking, and he wasn't interested in taking what I offered him. And I wasn't interested in paying his asking price for that thing, so. The problem with the 12 by 12, Ted, is that booth spaces tend to run 10 by 10. There's a reason that I went with a 10 by 10 when I was doing face painting professionally, because if your booth space is 10 by 10, you're not going to be able to set up a 12 by 12. If your booth space is 12 by 12, you're losing some space, but far better to not have an issue when you have a tight space. And I never could afford to have two different shade canopies. If we were setting up a shade canopy for camping or whatnot, then yeah, no, a 12 by 12 is absolutely a much better option. But right now, we're looking at a 10 by 10 just because I happen to know that most booth spaces are going to run about 10 foot by 10 foot. And then we also get to design the setup as far as tables and portable bookcases inside the pop-up, which will be interesting. I know the one I used to have was a really nice one. It had walls, but it was like a couple $100. And until I know that we're actually going to make a profit, nope, I'm right with you on there, Ted. Yeah, I'm just, right now we're experimenting. We're going to see how this works. If we can sell stuff, and if we can, great. There's 3 or 4 of us that can do the booths, so it's not one person all the time, which is, that sucks. I've done that. It sucks. Having 2 people is really better. And being able to rotate through who gets to leave the booth and go pee or get food. I did a lot of fairs by myself, and I did some with my older daughters. and load in and load out. And mine wasn't nearly as bad because we're going to be doing books. It's going to be quite heavy. But load in, load out for what I used to do was okay. Well, when we were doing the big magic shows, that was a whole different. That was a whole different kettle of fish. That was extensive. But when it was just my face painting and balloons, I had it down to a science, and I could manage that by myself, no problem. RK, appreciated on the help at FenCon booth. I think we have it covered, but we'll definitely let you know if somebody needs some respite. What? Yeah, my son is sitting over here making protesting noises because he was planning on being at the booth for most of the weekend, except he's also volunteered to help the audio visual. Yes. So, well, there's going to be 3 tables, so there's definitely going to be room for people to hang out. Yes, 3. Because we're working with Ben of Bjorn Blade Works. So he'll be there as well. So I will explain more later, not on live stream. So, oh, good news, Dad. Oh, we have 3 that are the North Texas Troublemaker tables, and then we also have Ben has a separate table. So, all right, Dad, keep me posted. I'm glad to hear that they aren't thinking that you need to be treated right the heck now. That's at least a step in the right direction. Ugh. Yep, Ben will have murder needles. He's planning on doing a good stock up for them. Um, and he will also have a lot of blades. And I'm not sure what else he'll have on the table. I know that that's what he's had in the past. But I also know that he's gearing up his business. So, yeah, no, I love my murder needles too. I probably should pick up another shorty pair. A little easier to style under a hat than some of the long needles I currently have. Yes, love.
For FinCon,
Mm-hmm.
Sanford has a sock.
Sanford will not be at FenCon. That's what he's referring to with the sock. He is a free Sanford. So Sanford, we had actually talked about this because Johan had volunteered to help out at the con and wanted to be running the booth like he did last year. He enjoyed that. So the decision was made that Johan and I would do the con, and then Sanford would stay up here and take care of the critters. And then we were actually thinking that we might drag him with us because there's going to be a bunch of people there at the con that Sanford would really, really like to see. And then the hotel thing happened and they moved us over to the Doubletree. And with Sanford's legs, walking much is kind of out of the question. And being able to de-stim in his own room is also important. So it's not going to work. There'll be another con or something, and you'll be able to meet him then. He does better with smaller groups of people, so we should probably talk nearer to Fool's Con, Ben, if you're in the neck of the woods and can make it to Itchy Paw. So I think a bunch of people are going to be doing shuttle. The hotel is going to be running a shuttle, so hopefully we will be able to provide transport for everybody. And I mean, really, it just spreads the party across 2 hotels. So nothing wrong with that. Plus, the Doubletree has cookies, so I'm a sucker for cookies that I didn't bake myself. I'm also a sucker for cookies I baked myself. There is a reason that I have gained enough weight to have to buy a new con dress. That and stress. Yeah, staggering between hotels. I don't usually drink a whole lot at a con. And this con, with having my son along and not having my husband, I probably will drink very, very little, if at all. Um, so, yes.
Your son is now a legal driver.
Yes. And I'm a mother. There are certain instincts that don't just switch off when somebody gets his
You guys
driver's.
had a
Speaking of which, did you get your driver's license?
check the mail.
Go check the mail, dude.
But you guys remember we had the drinking party with us kids in the hotel room? What do you call it?
That was a wedding reception.
There was a cooler full of alcoholic beverages.
There were, but it was a wedding reception.
What you wish there was. Everyone was drinking.
Yes, Johan, they'll drink in front of you. He's actually okay with it. He wants to be able to drink, not drink. He wants to be able to mix drinks. He can't stand the taste of alcohol, so he wants to be able to make things that he see people make on YouTube and then feed them to Sanford and I, which works about as well as you would expect. Now I have the, yes, that was definitely the sound of a youngster playing rules lawyer. So I have the, what do they call that? The UPS informed delivery. I get an email with an image of our mail every day. And I got the image today and I looked at it and I called Johan in and I'm like, you need to get the mail today when it comes. So he's got his license. So now he actually has a real piece of plastic instead of a folded up piece of paper. Oh, differs. As soon as he can cook, you should definitely let him cook.
Hey, speaking of alcohol, have you told them about the pina coladas?
What pina coladas? I don't know what he's talking about. So yes, he is now officially licensed. He had his learner's permit for about a year, and I don't know what he's doing. Ah, thank you. Here, you can put artist tape on it.
I don't want to show
Actually, do censor. So, he's had his learner's permit for about a year, and we had actually been talking about him putting off getting his license for a while because until he was 18 because he was thinking it would make his insurance more affordable. And we got to the point with commuting for school that not driving was much more inconvenient than possibly paying part of his insurance. But as it turns out, his insurance is surprisingly affordable. So
yeah, that was confusing me as well. It's what, $125?
It's $125 a month for his insurance, and I think it's because he's on our insurance, so it's a group thing. So a microwave over an open flame. That sounds not good. Aaron is not very old. Yes, I was going to say he's not very old. I remember when Aaron was not yet arrived fully. Okay, Johan wants me to share. He's redacted. He wants me to share the difference in photos.
Of a year. That's a year.
That's a year.
Oh, and of course I'm a ghost in one of them because they upped the saturation price.
Right. So his long hair phase and now his nice short cut. And the funny thing is the ghost one that's super blown out, he actually looks more like one of his sisters in that picture because he's so blown out he doesn't look like himself. And because of the long hair. But decent shot there, kid.
And I mean, I was smiling in one and the other I wasn't. My ears are hidden.
Yes, a much more flattering haircut now. So
The other one was fine. I was
it
going
was
it was okay. I was going it out
fluffy.
to have fun. I don't like. I even back then when I was thinking of going to computer science, I was just like, I don't think long hair's gonna work for me much. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it once, so I have the experience of having long hair that went past my almost as long as my shoulders, almost a few more months and I got it down to my shoulders, just barely.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks. So close. Oh look, wait, mother, look.
Bunny.
Yes.
Yes, there's bunnies in our yard. I'm not necessarily happy about bunnies in our
No.
yard because bunnies are perilous to actually growing plants. Johan started to put together the garden for me
What were they,
today.
Squash.
Hmm.
Squash. We had four
Yeah.
squash plants.
Something ate all of our squash plants.
We don't know if it was a squirrel or a bunny.
Yep. So we've got a raised bed in, and we will see. We've just put some plants in that tonight, and we've got a second raised bed to try and put together. We'll see how that goes. Not sure we have enough dirt. I may have to buy more dirt. Unfortunately, the truck is out of commission. It's at the mechanic. I don't know when we're going to get back. Probably not until sometime next week.
Actually, my apologies.
Mm-hmm.
The difference was 8 months, not 12. It was
Okay.
12 months from when I started this whole thing.
Right.
It took 4 months from me starting to learn how to drive with the online course for me to actually have an appointment to get my letters back.
Yeah, it took him a really long time to get an appointment down there in the city.
See?
Up here, it wasn't that bad at all.
No, but COVID had already cooled down a lot.
Right. Well, that and we're in a much smaller area, so just not as much pressure on.
Did you ever tell them about
The offices.
Social Security?
No.
Can I?
No, let's not get into that right now. It's almost the end of the hour, so another time.
It takes like 3 minutes.
Ramen noodles, cereal, and boiled eggs, as long as they're not doing it all at the same time, perhaps. Yes, cooking for school is that's a good class. Johan has taken culinary classes twice now? Once.
Okay, twice if you want to count the fact that you teach me.
Yes, I do teach you.
I definitely know more than the average person.
Probably. And you're going to be experimenting with a couple of new recipes tomorrow, right?
Ooh, yes, tomorrow, chocolate sauerkraut and tomato soup.
Cakes. So he's doing chocolate sauerkraut cake and tomato soup cake.
She wouldn't let me do avocado pie.
I don't think avocado pie will go over well.
And one of these days, I'm going to do whipped cream cake, which is like angel food cake, but you use like a quarter of the eggs or something. It's a super small amount of eggs.
We will try that one together sometime because that sounds interesting. So yes, Dylan Hollis has brought those recipes back into popular knowledge. I've actually made both of them before. They are not the flavors you would expect. You do not taste the sauerkraut. You do not taste the tomato soup.
It's not like they're like heavily spiced either.
No, but it's when you're baking them, things break down and you don't actually taste. Yeah, definitely. What's wrong with that boy? But he's been watching Dylan Hollis on YouTube, and Dylan Hollis specializes in
It's not like I watch it.
vintage and depression era recipes.
It's YouTube shorts. You know those things are like crack.
Yeah, have you seen Glenn and Friends? He does vintage cookbooks like I was doing. Yes,
Again,
yes, Sanford.
Mayonnaise cake.
I will not be doing the chocolate mayonnaise cake. I will not be doing the water
Oh,
pie.
mayonnaise cake's good.
I will not be doing the coal miner cake. I will not be doing the Civil War cake.
I want chocolate mayonnaise cake.
No.
So, Farm Girl, that sounds like a good care package if it's going to include a wrench. Yes, cake arguments. It's going to be a fun little, I'm not sure you can cover that up, Kermit. Unless you're talking about a savory dish of some kind. Yeah, we don't do TikTok though, so so we have only done we've done Dylan Thomas on YouTube. YouTube Shorts are basically the TikTok videos.
No, they are. They're TikTok
so,
because
yeah.
TikTok is designed basically to be crack cocaine.
Right. Well, I actually do. Those of you that follow my channel should periodically get notifications. I do shorts, YouTube shorts, what I call art bites, that are usually time lapse or process videos of me doing drawings and such. Yeah, no, there's definitely some nice little old lady videos. I should probably get some of those and no, thank you, not right now, love. I should probably find Farm Girl. That nope, not going there. Lamb burgers and vegetables sounds lovely, Becky.
Which con was it that everyone we bought that really nice Irish butter and you keep on telling me I'm not allowed to buy it again? We should buy some for butter basting one of those steaks.
Yes, we should. We have that lovely beef. We should eat more of it. But
tired of it.
Not tonight. No, we've already had our big meal for today.
Oh, I can have
So,
pizza. What do you want?
Johan is also in college, Farm Girl. No. The title you're thinking of is Great Depression Cooking. That sounds like it's right up my alley. I have done an awful lot of Depression era cooking. And some of it was because I collect vintage cookbooks, and some of it was because I grew up needing to make do with not a whole lot. So it's kind of just the way life is for me. And I'm fine with this. Mayonnaise cake is indeed awesome, and tomato soup cake is really interesting. And sauerkraut cake, you'll get the little shreds of vegetable, kind of like you do in a carrot cake, but you don't taste the sauerkraut. It's a nice, rich chocolate cake, nice and moist. So that's what the sauerkraut gives it. Lots of moist. So, well, folks, it's been an hour and I am running out of voice and steam and yeah, no. So let's see. Next week is the week of FenCon, and I will be on panels Friday evening. So I am probably going to post more about this, but expect a live stream on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, and then we'll catch up again the week after FenCon. So I will talk to you guys all next week at some point. Perhaps, Ben, it's going to depend on when I get down to the city, because I work on Thursday, so I'll be coming down after that, and I don't know what time. And also I'm on board for helping to set up the booth for the con. So yes, do please hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and I will see you all next week. I'm honestly, I'm going now, I promise. Have a good weekend. I will see some of you soon. Bye.